Thank you, Chairman Hudson and Ranking Member Matsui, for allowing me to join in this important hearing. As the development of advanced technology accelerates, it's important that we evaluate existing law to ensure that regulations are appropriate and that innovation is encouraged. This is increasingly necessary as we see tech development leading us into the age of AI. Pennsylvania is leading innovation in the artificial intelligence space. As I have previously mentioned before this subcommittee, the historic $92 billion investment announced by President Trump in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania last year is securing more jobs, attracting domestic companies, and increasing energy production. We must continue to invest in this industry that is promoting economic growth and leading to advancements across all sectors, including manufacturing and healthcare. With these crucial developments, the United States can win the global AI race. We must allow innovation and competitiveness to thrive. We must provide the proper guardrails for this to all be possible at the same time. Mr. Pickering, you mentioned the importance of the United States winning the global AI race in your written testimony. You also mentioned that we are entering into a new era defined in a completely different way by AI. Is this definition that as we enter into this, is it clear that we are living in that different world than when this act was originally passed?
Yes, and that's why earlier in one of the answers to a question, I said we need a new framework. We need an AI framework and an AI infrastructure and the policies to build as quickly as possible, but a national standard, delegating to the states what they do best, reserving for a national interstate commerce policy on AI, and bringing competition to the energy and electricity markets that we brought to the digital infrastructure and networks of the last 40 years.
Is that framework capable of being developed with the Telecommunications Act of 1996?
I would recommend a new framework.
What updates, what specifically should occur that would allow AI development and competition to continue to develop?
It goes back, having a national framework on model regulation is critical because if you take the European approach, which is a permission-based, before you develop a model, you must get regulatory approval. And that slows innovation, it slows adoption, and it slows and sometimes blocks competition. So have a national framework on model regulation, allow the states to continue consumer protection, civil rights, and all the core innovative things that they do, but not to be able to say yes or no to a model being built and deployed at the front end.
You talk about that keenness of innovation. Does that have to be maintained at the forefront to be successful?
Yes.
I agree with you on that. You mentioned the REAL Act. I am the grandson of railroaders from Pennsylvania. I saw the advancements of what railroad has done, but I see the lack of cooperation currently right now with the rail industry that allows the lines that need to be placed either alongside, underneath, or over rail. How important is that to allow telecommunications to continue to advance?
It's critically important, both to the fiber to the home across. A lot of times the railroad really is the dividing line in a community between the advantaged and the disadvantaged. So be able to connect fiber to the home is important, but we're also having long routes and middle mile routes that connect key hubs, like in Pennsylvania, to the data centers and the energy and the large language model data centers. Those long routes connecting a global and a national system of AI infrastructure, of cloud compute and supercompute and next quantum compute. To be able to have those long routes, you have to cross railroads. And a lot of times we're seeing 6 months, 12 months, 18 months where the railroads sit on an application and never respond. And then when they do, they're charging exorbitant rates to cross the railroad. And we can do it at cost with shot clocks, safely, more than current safety standards. We can cross underneath in a very, very safe way. And we need, your legislation fixes that. And it's bipartisan, both House and Senate. And I hope it can be part of the Broadband Deployment Act and whatever permitting reform comprehensive approach this Congress tries to do this year.
I think you recognize as we continue to modernize the Telecommunication Act of 1996, 30 years after it was made into law, Innovations in technologies, specifically in artificial intelligence, should be one of our collective focus points. I thank you for your discussion today. I thank all of you for this hearing. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.